right, good luck, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to. Let me get my host up here. Welcome to CLUFest 2021 with our Dreamland theme. I'm Wyatt Phipps, and here is Allie Carlson and everyone's favorite super duper senior Shaggy.
Hello, how's it going, everybody? Ah,
Allie.
Yes. I'm Allie. I'm a multimedia major, and also I'm an RA here on campus in Trinity Hall.
Awesome.
and I'm Shaggy. I'm basically a living cartoon character. Always
Living
fun.
cartoon character. Y'all got to see what Shaggy's got in store for us later today in the show. My name is Wyatt. I am the multimedia DA. I am a senior. All of us are seniors except Shaggy, the super duper duper senior deluxe. And we will be your hosts tonight for CLUFest 2021.
Yay.
So I want to go into a little bit about the theme we chose this year, Dreamland. It's actually a conglomerate of a lot of different themes. We had this huge list. We had like a pixel theme, we had just a basic dream theme, we had sci-fi, we had 2020 as a whole, a lot of things. Shaggy was actually on the theme team, so if you want to go a little more into that, you can.
Sure. Well, as you said, I've been here for some say longer than Eric Wren, and I've been pretty much on three different Clue Fests now. So for themes, it was always a fun thing where everyone comes together and does something really cool, but we were like, hey, it's been a pandemic for quite some time. We're all very tired of this, and we all just kind of want to hang out. And really, the only place we could do that's in our heads, or I guess online. So we just kind of figure, Dreamland. That sounds like a great place to be right now.
Yep. Instead of having to go online for Zoom meetings and such, just go back into your own head, right?
hmm
So, anyways, to
Yep.
start out with a little bit of audience interaction, we have something called a Mentimeter here. Let me pull that up for you folks. So what this is you could type in this code if you go to this website up here, www.menti.com, and then insert the code 36681812, and you could type in words that you think just describe dreams. And we're going to be checking this once in a while during the stream just to see what interesting words pop up, see what the popular things are, see what's new. I'm really looking forward to what we all got to say about it.
Exciting. Looking forward to this
Yeah.
in-depth questions.
I'm excited to see what words you guys come up with.
So we'll be checking that shortly. And we will start onto the website soon, but first I just wanted to give a thanks out to all the faculty, everyone who's been still working on campus for the past year despite the difficult times. Couldn't be running this without you all. I want to thank everyone who's been submitting artwork to CLUFest, which you'll be seeing very soon. Want to thank Tim for, well, not
Being
running
an
this, but
awesome
kind of
teacher.
prodding us along, getting us to actually run this show ourselves.
Prodding is a very big understatement. He had used cattle prod almost literally.
What about you, Allie?
Yeah, I want to thank Tim, and I also want to thank Dan because we've all been students for Dan for a long time. So thank you to him too.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
shout out to Dan. Sorry I haven't turned in that project yet because I've been working on ClueFest stuff.
Yeah, same. Dan, sorry, I've been working on Film Jam stuff because I've been trying to run this live stream.
Shout out to the Film Jam.
So anyways, I think it's time that we actually run onto the website and see what we have to offer to all you folks. And here we are. This is the homepage of the website. Take a look at this.
Gorgeous, isn't it?
Mhm.
So first, I wanted to start out by just going to the art gallery, seeing what, not photography and film, but just the digital art, the sketches, the paintings, all the work. So we'll head there first. And see, we already go off swinging with three of Taylor's works. I wanted to talk about the Medusa one right here.
Yeah. I mean, I love Greek mythology, so I was like, oh, that looks gorgeous.
Yeah. I know we don't have Taylor speaking right now, but I wanted to know if this was if this was referenced off a photo or something and it was combined with all those snakes.
Yeah, it'd be really nice to know how it was done. I mean,
Yeah.
it would take a very long time to do that by hand, but I mean, totally
Mhm.
doable.
Either way, it's impressive, whether it's just a hodgepodge of photos or if it was all painted by hand. I guess we'll have to ask her after the show, right?
Yeah.
What do you think, Allie?
I think it's really awesome. I like the makeup that she chose to put on her. Very soft and makes her seem very feminine. I think it's a good choice.
Mm-hmm.
I like the snakes.
We all
I
like
think
the
that
snakes
is
Yeah,
so
I like
cool.
the snakes.
because it's like the real Medusa myth, where it's a contrast between the beauty of the human and the ferocity, the threatness of the snakes, right?
And how the Greek
Mhm.
gods continuously, screw over humanity just a tiny, tiny bit.
Causes trouble with Medusa, who's causes trouble for everybody else. All that good stuff.
Ah, yeah.
Let's move on and right down here we have another artwork from Heather Nelson called In a Sweet Wonderland. This is just
Awesome.
lots of colors are going on, lots of soft pastel colors, very cute artwork.
Super
I
cute.
love
I
how
love
bright
the
it is.
lollipop.
What was that, Shaggy?
Oh, I just love how bright it is. The colors are all just popping out
Oh
really, really
yeah,
well.
the bright backgrounds, bright shirt, bright
I
hair, bright blue hair. When do you
love the
see
hair.
that? All the raining candy, just yeah, it's a sweet wonderland.
I have a big bag of candy. I really want to go eat it.
Ooh, yummy. Me too, actually.
And we will keep moving down. And then next, I want to bring up this artwork from you, Shaggy. Could you
I
explain what's
mean,
going on here?
well, one day I was trying to draw my girlfriend because I was just trying to sketch, and I mean, you better over time with practice because no matter where you are in something, practice always helps. And I messed up a lot, so I just started doodling and then doodling more. And it got really cool, but kind of weird. And I was just like, hey, why not just go with it? Sometimes artwork just kind of pops up and it does its own thing.
You want to explain why little pea pod in the corner has three eyes along with the person? What's the thought
Uh,
process?
well, I like Warhammer 40K, which is a fantasy game in space with, it's like Star Wars, just a bit more pulp fiction. It's a great, great game. And in it, there's just chaos gods, evil stuff. And one of them is all about crazy stuff and insanity. So I was like, hey, put a shout out to that guy in there because he's awesome.
Insane indeed. But I want to go from something insane to something a little more controlled, like this postcard of Rome from Ashley Delaney.
Yeah, that is gorgeous.
Allie, I'm not hearing your audio right now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Good.
So I
Wow,
like
yeah, this
how
is a really nice.
it looks like there's
Sorry.
less than 10 colors used with this, maybe even less than 6 or 7, right? Except for the
Uh,
gradient background. I guess that's many colors, but you get the idea, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
It's a very nice minimalist look, and it's just, I love the sky. It just looks gorgeous.
Mhm. We'll move on from that. What do we want to touch on next? Allie, you said you want to talk about this
Mhm.
one from your friend Shay Stelzner? Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. So this one was actually based off of one of the books that she really liked. So there's this scene in this like fantasy, like what did she call it? Like a moonstone palace. And so she was saying that some of the characters were talking in this place and it inspired her to create it.
Really? I'm looking at the description.
Awesome.
It says, I had to design a moonstone palace for one of my videos. Do you know what this video was?
No, I haven't seen the video.
It'd be really cool to see.
Hmm.
Be
That would
probably a
be
great
awesome.
animation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I do like the curtains in front of just the very thin curtain. It's kind of few layers
Yeah,
on this piece of work.
delicate.
Mm-hmm. We will keep on moving on. And then I wanted to take a look at this because, Pedro, what is going on here?
I don't know, but I like it.
I know.
It's super cool.
Do you recognize any of the people in here? I want to say the guy in the middle. He looks kind of like Joe Rogan,
No,
don't you think?
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, and the film reels come out of his eyes. I think that's the
No,
most
I
interesting
cannot
thing
see
about
it.
this is that Pedro's a film guy, and then suddenly he pumps out this just out of left field.
Well, I mean, the big thing with multimedia as a whole is the fact that it's a little bit like vaudeville now, where because of technology, so many people can do so many things that you get to pursue whatever interest you really want to, not just some specific thing.
That's
It's
true.
awesome.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Allie?
I think it's really awesome. You could see that there's a planet behind there, and it looks like there's also fireworks going on.
I didn't even think
So I
about
think
that
that's
the first time seeing this. Just like a billion fireworks.
mhm,
There's a whole storm going on back
Yeah.
there.
it's incredible.
All the different layers
Oh,
of things folding into each other. I like this. It's wild. I want to pick Pedro's
Mhm.
brain about this one sometime.
that'd be really fun.
And the final one we want to look at after scrolling through a few more of these. Oh, two more actually. Excuse me. Want to take a look at this one from Monique. If I remember, I was in the same classes room she made this, and this was a cityscape called Insername.
Cool.
Yeah,
I wonder what the name means.
insert. Insername. It's actually an abbreviation of insert name because we didn't
That's
know what to call
awesome.
it. But hey, creativity from limitations. Am I right?
I mean, I name files random things all the time. I send people files that I have to rename on the spot because it's just always, Dan's Audio Boogaloo 2.0 or something for me to just throw in. Oh yeah, I forgot that thing. Let me slap that in there and send it to you.
Oh, you mean you never just name a file and you just run your hands across the keyboard so you get like WHJUYTBN?
Now, forget which one's which. I did that once, and then my entire desktop was just covered in things I didn't understand. And I was
Mhm.
like, oh,
I do that
well,
once
I
in a
might
while.
as well just name it something interesting so I'll never forget it.
When it's a long night.
Oh, of course. Makes it interesting, entertaining too.
So let's finally go down to the very bottom where we want to discuss this one right here. Stone Sharp. This is actually going to be one of
Nice.
the films made by the film department, and this was the poster made to advertise it.
Great poster.
Really gritty. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. It looks like he's pouring oil on the camera and it's breaking the camera from the top. The camera's still going strong.
I just wonder how they did it. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
It's nice. And the wardrobe is really cool. You got the suspenders going on.
Yeah, very thematic.
Yeah. And like I said before, this is actually from a film from the film department, which stay tuned. You might find more about that if you stick around to the show. So, anyways, I wanted to go back up to a certain piece of artwork from the one of the art DAs, Elena Murphy, and we actually have her right now, and we want to speak with her.
Ooh,
So we'll be getting
nice.
her in just a second.
Excited.
We'll just wait a few moments for her to come around.
No worries.
Here she comes.
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Hi there, Elena. How you doing?
Hi.
I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm
Not
doing
too
well.
bad.
Good.
So we're just taking a look at some of your artwork right now. The one that's on screen right now is called Queen of Flowers. And we just want to ask a few questions. I wanted to start out with just what's the process for something like this? How do you start? What do you have to work with?
So this is a digital painting that I did in the app Procreate. So I started with a photo that I had taken of one of my best friends, and using that as a reference, I was painting using the paintbrush tools in Procreate. And then I was inspired by the Dreamland theme of CLUFest. So I added some flowers from photographs to make it a little more dreamy.
Yeah, and I noticed some of the glitching on the flowers. Is that also meant to be part of the dream sequence?
Yes.
I like it. I think it looks kind of like a cyberpunk Alice in Wonderland type feel to it.
Thank you.
So something I wanted to ask is that when I was looking through the CLUFest 2020 artwork, I noticed that a lot of stuff you posted it was cartoony, it was character design stuff, and all the things you posted this year were these realistic paintings, a little abstract. So what's with the switching gears?
Yeah, I definitely have a pretty broad range of styles. I'm kind of a style mimic. I like to try a lot of different styles. So last year I was in Tim's digital illustration class, and we were doing a lot of projects where I was doing sort of more cartoony style stuff, but I just wanted to experiment with more realistic painting over the summer, and so I was doing some portraits based on photos, and that's how these pieces came about.
Well, it looks like it turned out well. Would you say your main style then is that cartoony character design?
I don't know that I would even say I have a main style. I really switch back and forth between cartoon and realism kind of all the time.
That makes sense. Honestly, when it comes down to it, artists develop their own certain unique style over so long periods of time. I mean, such a long, long period of time. So it's like
Absolutely.
when it comes to mimicking art, it's like if you could do that, I personally am also the same way where it's just I could draw stuff from my head. It's just it would be so cool if I could just draw Thanos really fast and make this really big scene and why not throw like the guy from Skyrim fighting him? I don't know. But it's like if you could do that, you could start to honestly, I think, develop your own unique style so much easier because you're able to just kind of go, oh, well, what if I mix this kind of thing with that kind of thing? And it just somehow comes out really cool. It could also turn out really bad sometimes, but that's what trial and error is all about.
I was wondering if you're looking into any more styles right now.
Hmm, that's an interesting question.
She's done too many. There's nowhere else to go.
Yeah, I mean, I like to like observe other artists' styles that I like and then sort of try it out and try to mimic their style as closely as possible and then kind of take elements from it and incorporate it back into my own style. So just like anytime I see an artist I really like, I'll steal little bits from it.
That's how the best artists are made, are starting out with intimidation and then not intimidation, imitation. Maybe intimidation in some
Maybe a little
cases.
bit.
Vincent van Gogh maybe, but
Yeah.
imitation, you start checking out other people's arts, trying to take bits and pieces from it, and eventually you get your own style.
Hmm.
Or you could go with Wyatt's plan and intimidate someone and take their style, although we are not supporting this as CLU members.
Whoops, yeah. Do either of you have any more questions for Elena?
I was actually wondering, in your own style, are there specific colors that you gravitate more to?
Actually, that's kind of, I do have a specific, I like dusty colors. So I like
Mm,
colors that have a little bit of brown, a little bit closer to neutral. That's my favorite. And black and white. I do a lot of black and white.
yeah, that's nice.
Interesting.
Awesome.
So one last question I had, and you don't have to answer this one if this is up to artist interpretation, but in one of your uploads you had a quote that said, "Good harvest will continue for 6 years. If disease spreads, show a picture of me to those who will fall ill, and they will be cured." And I just wanted to know is, well, why that quote? And also who said it, unless you made it up.
Yeah, well, actually, credit goes to Barbara Obermeyer on that one. She's been having her digital art classes do this project based on the myth of Amabie, a Japanese yokai. Uh, and that's the prophecy that Amabie was said to have delivered in the 1800s, um, translated from Japanese, obviously.
Interesting. All right.
I think I think I saw a couple of other Amabie pieces in the show. You might see them come up again if you keep an eye out.
Oh, maybe. Well, we might run into them. But anyways, Elena, thank you for coming on. Thank you so much for submitting this great art to CLUFest. Do you have
That's
anything to say
Thank
to
you
awesome.
the
for
folk?
having me.
Do you have anything to say to the folks at home?
Enjoy the show.
I hope
Thank
Awesome.
they are.
you.
Have a good one.
Have a good night.
Well, that was awesome to talk to someone, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, anyways,
That was really
folks,
cool.
we got to pay the bills. So, we're actually going to be running a few ads now before we continue on with the show. But don't worry, they'll be fun ones, and they might be worthwhile if you're part of the multimedia department. You know what I'm saying? So, let's give them a watch. Welcome back, folks. Let me just pull up my special guest again. So, first thing we want to do before going back to the website is check out the Mentimeter, see what updates have gone on. And here it is. Allie and Shaggy, are you able to see it right now?
I am not able to see it.
Not just yet.
All right. So again, to anyone at home, also to Allie and Shaggy, go to www.menti.com and use the code 36681812, and then you two could also post some words. Looks like the biggest right now is exciting. You got it pulled up, Shaggy?
Yeah.
Awesome. So a lot of people are saying exciting, which I didn't expect that at all. I'm usually not afraid of dreams, but I'm a little apprehensive. Like, I go to bed at night and I'm thinking, what's going to happen? Am I going to have a nightmare?
Honestly, I stay up so late sometimes. It's pretty much just like, oh, when's the dream gonna start taking over? And I'm gonna wake up on my just keyboard sprawled out or something.
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot like unreal, unrealistic, otherworldly, lucid, which, yeah, that would make sense for a dream, but that's the funny thing about it is that you're not always aware of that you're in a dream. Sometimes you just accept it like, well, this is just my reality now. And then you wake up and you realize, oh, wait, of course, that was ridiculous.
That's what happens to me until I trip and fall in my dream.
Whoops.
Mhm.
Someone said peaceful too. Oh, more words are popping up. Lucid, surreal is now the biggest word.
Awesome. Always love my surrealist work.
Oh yeah.
I love Salvador Dali. Honestly, that was the biggest thing that I saw in that earlier Queen card because that was Dali. That was awesome. And also in some of Pedro's work too.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
So in case you're just tuning into the show, this is CLUFest 2021 Dreamland. We're just going over the Mentimeter right now, and we just went through the artwork of the website and had an interview with the art DA Elena Murphy with her artwork. And now we're going to move on to the photography section. So let's move on up there. And let's get our host back on camera, shall we? All right. Uh-oh.
What's up, buddy?
We'll keep that off right for now. But let's stay and let's start looking at it. So what do you folks want to check out first?
Photography.
Well, we're on the photography. I'm talking about the photos. I wanted to go over this one from
Ooh,
Melanie Desroches. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This was one of the photos that was actually on the CLUFest Instagram. And it was the only
nice.
photo on Instagram. I think the rest were artworks or animations. Just this one, there's a lot going on in it.
Yeah, I love the lighting.
Yeah.
It looks like the earth is tilted a little bit.
Yeah, just the way the water's position and the sky's position, both of them. And you notice that one jet line in the sky that's also diagonal. I think that adds to the tilted feel of it.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I love it when artists work in a lot of angular things that draw your eyes to places. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah. It's also it's hard to tell, and this is just the photo. It's really hard to tell if the water's clean or dirty because you look in the distance, it's nice and reflective, it's clear. But then as you get into the foreground of the picture, you see it gets green and murky. There's a weird contrast going on.
Not all water is going to be naturally clear white. Some things
Oh
are
man.
naturally other colors.
Aren't all crystal lakes just super perfect and nice though?
Well, it depends. I mean, if it's connected to the ocean, there could be a natural place where it creates some sort of silt kick up or something that changes the color.
Well, you see,
Shout
Shaggy.
out to geology.
Well, you see,
So
Shaggy.
smart.
That's why I'm just a Molt student. I don't know these kind of things.
No, no,
I
no, no.
don't
I've
know
been
either.
here forever. I've just taken so many classes at this point that it's just like, yeah, I've taken geology. What else do you want to ask me? I got this.
Other science things. Well, how about I ask you some questions about another photo from Sarah Strand? Picture of
Ooh,
somebody walking straight into the sun. It looks like.
that seems
Ooh.
painful, but go for it if you want to.
Yeah.
Live your life.
Usually you see a lot of pictures like this where the person is right in front of the sun, so you see just their silhouette. You don't see a lot of them where it's like it's only halfway. You see both the sun coming out and the silhouette of the face. So it's like
I
something.
just like it because it's just so hard to get like the lens flare right there and not have it obscure more stuff. That just it's so well done.
Yeah,
And the contrast is gorgeous.
it's very
And the
clear. You can actually.
reflection's nice.
It
Yeah.
is nice that the only thing being silhouetted is the person. Everything else is relatively clear.
Hmm.
Right?
I like that. It's a good photo.
A lot of work.
Mm-hmm. She also took a picture of the seagull there. I like a cute seagull.
Birds are cool.
Here's another one from
Possibly not real.
Oh yeah, thanks to Reagan.
Yep, replaced them all with spy satellites. They're listening, people.
Here's another photo
Yeah.
that I liked. Looks like some sort of a shop or a shopping district from Sarah Strand, and it's very vibrant, like surprisingly vibrant.
It's
Yeah,
nice.
and
It's
the
just
leaves
like
are super red.
pre-COVID, right?
It's
Yes,
pre-COVID.
pre-COVID.
You know what it looks like? It looks like a Disney movie,
Yeah.
Hmm.
just with how
Or a
colorful
Pixar
it
movie.
is. And then let's see. I'm noticing there's a lot of wave pictures, a lot of pictures at the beach. So it's a good thing that
Well, we're
people
in
are.
California, dude. Everyone loves
Yeah, I
the
was gonna
beach.
say that everyone's gonna be taking pictures at the beach. It's
Of
nice that people
course.
are still able to get out during COVID and all that.
Honestly, the weather lately has been beautiful, and it's just a perfect time to go.
Oh yeah. So with that, I wanted to go back to artwork for just a moment, and I wanted to discuss a specific piece with someone we have on the about to come on the show, Nicole Brettel.
Ooh.
Are you here now?
Hello? Yes, I'm here.
Hi there. How you
Hello.
doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. Doing all right.
Bit nervous?
Well, it's my first time here and first time virtual. So,
Ah, no worries.
Are you a freshman?
um so, um I'm no, I'm like I'm a sophomore, but I'm a
Awesome.
transfer. I transferred like 2019 from Kansas.
Ah, oh,
That's awesome.
Nice.
Welcome.
not in
Wow.
Kansas anymore,
Yeah.
far from home.
Yeah,
So, anyways,
Yeah.
the reason why I wanted to bring up your artwork, Nicole, is that when we're looking through the submissions on CLUFest, we see art student, multimedia student, and then we get to your name and it says English student, and I'm thinking that's interesting. So, what made you want to submit to CLUFest?
Well, well, that's a good question because I'm like I love drawing, I love art, but I love English and I love writing and I love like I'm like showing off my artwork and like art shows. And I had like two professors this year, two multimedia professors that actually mentioned CLUFest. And one of them, my digital illustration, Professor Hangst, he like mentioned it and he like said he mentioned I should go for it. And so I did.
that's awesome. It's
And look,
always good for
look
anyone
where
to
it
come
got
out
you.
and
You're
try.
on CLUFest right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, since you're an English major, is all your artwork tied to your English major in some way? Does it tie together? Is this a story that's meant to be told?
Yes, there it's just like part of like many stories I've written in the past. And as like for example, hold on, let me look at the artwork so I can see. As like for an example, in the third like picture that has the scaly creature called the monster storyteller. He is like a character that I wrote when I was in Johnson County Community College for like a creative writing class. And it was part of a short story, and he was like kind of like my like how Steven Spielberg said his ET. Um,
awesome.
yeah, the monster storyteller is like my ET.
That's really cool.
So I'm
Yes.
guessing. Sorry.
Oh, I was also gonna say, and the other, I'm like drawing, with the woman with the aurora borealis hair. She's like a character from a novel that I'm currently like writing or in the process of writing since I was in high school, and it's just like a children's novel.
Cool.
That's really neat. I think it's cool that when people make artwork to go along with their stories, because one, it allows you to capture the imagination, but two, it could also be used for a bit of marketing. You know what I'm saying? You could put these out as concept art on
Is it
websites and
always
posters.
money to you,
It's
Wyatt? Is
always
it
money
never
to
It
me.
free
is.
art?
It's never about the
Absolutely.
art.
Well, when you're paying how much a year?
So are you an art minor or a multimedia minor? Are you just making art for kicks, Nicole?
Well, great question because I'm like doing art for kicks for now, but I'm thinking of changing my major to like a multimedia major or but with a minor in English or stick with the English major but have a minor in multimedia because I love drawing and I love doing artwork, but I also want to be a part of writing and theater and acting and just all those arts. I'm kind of like a arts renaissance girl. And
Nice.
I just want to be like do a lot of things, not just art or writing, but just all of them.
Well, as a multimedia spokesperson, if you would like to come over to the dark side and join us, you can do all of whatever writing type things you want to. If you want to go into storyboarding, concept stuff, we've got it all.
All
Just
right.
come join us. Join us.
Just so you know, it's in the name multimedia. It is multiple things you could do. So you're able to do the writing part, the scripts, you could do the storyboard, you could do the artwork, you could do it all in multimedia. All biases
All right.
included. So anyways,
That's
Nicole,
my alley.
yeah.
Yeah, come join us. Definitely. Multimedia major or minor. We'd love to have you.
We welcome all.
So anyways, Nicole, thank you so much for coming on. I hope you have a good night. Thank you for posting your art. Thank you for speaking with us. Do you have anything to say to the folks at home?
Well, to the folks at home, I think my bit of advice is do the best you can. If you want to go out into the world, do the best you can. That's all you can do. It doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how hard it is. You just keep going. Just keep going, keep fighting, and just fight for what you believe in and believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, keep
And
going at what you're good at because hey, I've been doing motion graphics and editing since I want to say middle of high school and I was garbage back then, but look at me now. Making all the graphics for CLUFest.
Mhm.
So yeah,
yep.
that truer words never been spoken. Keep trying, keep going at it. Thank you so much, Nicole. I hope you have a good night.
All right, you too.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
All right, folks. And speaking of drawing, what we have next, we have a little tutorial for all you digital artists out there and hand-drawn artists from Heather Nelson on how she draws hands.
Awesome.
So
I
I'm going
love
to roll that
hands.
in just a moment. We will see you
That is
folks soon.
so hard to draw.
A lot of my friends ask me how I draw hands, so I thought that this would be a cool topic for me to kind of show how I draw them. So basically for hands, I start out with the basic shapes that make up the silhouette, and then I try to eyeball the rest of the details. I try to get the overall shape of the hand before I move on, but sometimes I just work on a section at a time, depending on how I feel. And then once I get the shape done, I move on to value and shading. And so for sketches like these, it's easiest for me to work with a watercolor brush like this one, because it can make soft and thick lines that are easy to build up for rough sketches and shading, as well as take away by erasing or inverting the brush fill, so it acts like an eraser but with the current brush's settings. As for proportioning, I think it really helps to find a relative meeting point between joints or some tips. My hand here, I thought the shape was really easy to work with since all my fingers were almost the same size and almost completely parallel, and the tip of my index finger was vertically really close to where my wrist and thumb met. It was almost vertically on top, but not really. It's not exact, but it was my reference point. So for shading, I also try to find the shapes that form the shadows silhouettes, so I don't have to worry too much about where the light and dark areas meet later on. But worst case scenario, I just make the whole section dark and bring back the lighter shades afterwards. In some cases, it also helps to draw with the shadows first instead of the lines like I did for the fifth hand. I started with soft lines as the silhouette, but used the shadows more to make up the hand, and I lined the whole thing afterwards. And then these are just more hand examples. I think that in most cases I work from lighter values to darker ones, but I think that also varies with the person, so just work in the style that you're most comfortable with.
Hey again, everyone. We're back in business.
All right. And now we're going to head to the film trailers. So
Yes, let me pull that
organized.
up. Just a moment,
Awesome.
Allie. Sorry.
Yeah, go for it. No,
Jumping the
no,
gun a
you're
bit.
good.
She's just excited.
I know.
I am excited. These are awesome trailers. People worked really hard on their films.
So we do have a video segment of the website too, and we have a lot of posts. We have the Film Jam stuff at the very bottom, but the Film Jam screen was last week, so we'll talk about that another time. Let me pull it up for the folks to see at home.
Oh.
So Allie, you're meant to introduce this. You're the film kid.
All right, here we go. Organized by the Film and TV program, the 2021 edition of the Student Film Festival has combined forces with us, CLUFest, to acknowledge students' work. The Student Film Festival showcases films produced by film students. Traditionally, the annual festival takes place in a face-to-face setting, but due to COVID-19 this year, the festival is presented online and part of CLUFest. The participating filmmakers in this year's festival range from senior to first-year students. They are Veronica Mikolasek for Transportation, Madison James for Skin, Mia Gambriel, Zoom University, Polina Grishko for Partisan and Purple, Stone Sharp for The Shooting at Rattler's Ridge, Joshua Cabrera for Short Love, Omar Melendez for The Relief, Jeremy Kamba for Unwashed, and Katie Romanovich for Meanwhile on the West Coast. From love and murder to fat phobia and time travel, the stories cover a wide range of serious and lighthearted topics that entertain and challenge the audience intellectually. We hope you enjoy watching the film students' movies. And here's a reel of their trailers, and then after the video, we're going to cut to commercial. So enjoy.
Whoever finds her will be given a reward.
Listen up, filmmakers and cartoonists. Do you want to make a short film with your peers to be showcased to a live audience? Let me introduce you to the upcoming 48x2 Film Jam Animation Edition. You and your friends will have 4 days to complete an animated film from concept to completion. We allow a number of animation styles like hand-drawn, vector, stop motion, motion graphics, machinima, 3D, and so on. So, grab a team and be ready to start jamming from April 28th at 6 p.m. to May 2nd at 7 p.m. The link to sign up will be in the description. Good luck, folks!
All right, folks, we are back once again. How you feeling, Allie and Shaggy?
I'm
I'm
feeling
doing pretty
great.
good.
All right. So I think we need to do one last check of the Mentimeter. What are you folks saying?
I think
Yeah,
so.
let's
I want
see.
to see if sandwiches got any bigger.
Excellent stuff. Wait, did you say sandwiches?
Yeah, you guys don't see sandwiches
I
on
didn't
there?
see sandwiches.
Shout out to sandwiches. That sounds so good.
I don't think I've
Yeah.
ever had a stream with a sandwich in it.
I haven't either.
Well,
It would be a good dream though.
as expected, Surreal is leading the charge right now with Exciting and Crazy right
Ooh.
behind it. Allie, I don't see sandwiches anywhere.
What?
Oh wait,
Well, if I could.
it's in the bottom
Dude,
right. I
it's
see
like
it
right
now.
there, yeah.
Oh, good, good, good.
What?
Now I'm just thinking about a dream I had where I had like this giant hero sandwich, and every time I took a bite, it would like regenerate itself.
That
And then I
that
could take
truly
another
is a
bite.
dream. That is an
It
exciting
was so
dream.
good. That's
That's
all I did
nice.
for like 4 hours of a dream. It felt like just sitting in a chair eating a sandwich, and I was so happy.
So anyways, folks, if you want to post your thoughts on words to describe dreams, go to www.menti.com and use the code 36681812, and you too could put your words. Hopefully, if we get the HTML running, we could get this on the actual CLUFest website after the show.
Cool.
And I know we've been showing a lot of videos lately at the far end of this, but now we've got another tutorial to show you folks. We didn't get to many of the motion graphics, but we wanted to show you a little demonstration in After Effects on how to do a crazy Dreamland spiral animation. So we'll get that up and running in just a moment.
Awesome.
Alright, CLUFest folks, here's a short tutorial on how to make a trippy spiral animation like in my CLUFest submission. First off, you're going to need After Effects for this. If you don't have it at the moment, well, I guess you get a few minutes off. First, create a new composition with your desired dimensions. For a background, create a new solid by pressing Ctrl and Y on your keyboard. I recommend a very dark and saturated color. For simplicity's sake, I'm just using a black solid. The background is meant to suppress some effects we're going to add later. Create another solid with Ctrl and Y. The color doesn't matter this time. This solid is going to be the spiral. To start, go to the Effects and Presets window here and search for radio waves. Add it to your solid. Now get the pen tool and click on the screen to make whatever shape you want. It doesn't really matter what you make since it could be adjusted later. In the radio wave window, change the wave type from polygon to mask, and then select Mask 1 from the Mask tab below it. Change the expansion number depending on how far apart you want each wave of the spiral. Raise the lifespan so your waves last the whole size of your composition as well. Now, to give it the spiral look, raise the spin just enough so that all the waves offset each other. In the stroke tab, you could change the color, but that doesn't matter since we'll be adding a color effect later. More importantly is the fade in time, which allows the waves to gradually appear in the scene. Fade out time will cause them to gradually disappear once the lifespan expires. The start and end width change the size of the waves during their lifespan. In this case, they gradually increase in size. Here's how mine looks so far. Keep in mind that everyone's will look different due to the different mask paths, so don't panic if yours is different. If you want, you could adjust the mask to change the look of the spiral. You could also raise the frequency of the waves to make the spiral look more solid. Now for some color. Search for Gradient Ramp and add it to the radio wave layer. It's black and white by default, but clicking on the color icons will allow you to change them. I'm going to go with red and blue this time. Let's get a more potent spiral. All you have to do is select the radio wave layer and press Ctrl and D to duplicate it. Select the new layer and press R to open the rotation tab and rotate it 180 degrees. Look at that. But we gotta spruce this up a bit more. Press Ctrl, Alt, and Y on the keyboard to create an adjustment layer. Search for the glow effect and add it to the adjustment layer. This'll make the spiral shine. Select the glow effect and clone it a few times with Ctrl and D. Raise the radius to around 130. If it's looking a little too intense, you can always select the layer, press T to open the opacity tab, and then lower it. Create another adjustment layer with Ctrl-Alt-Y. This is going to be a blur, but only on the edges. Click and hold the square icon, and then select the circle mask. Click in the center of the composition and hold Ctrl and Alt. Start dragging until the ellipse is large enough. In the Mask tab under the layer, raise the feather and set the mask to Subtract, so it only affects the outer part of the ellipse. Search for Gaussian Blur and add it to the layer. If you raise the blurriness, there will be this subtle blur as your spiral expands. Time to top it all off. Add another adjustment layer, Ctrl-Alt-Y, and search for the noise effect. Raise the noise between 10 and 20. This gives the whole image a bit of grain. You're pretty much done at this point. If you like, you could fine-tune some of the previously mentioned effects. I changed the frequency of the waves, for example. I'll even throw in an extra effect I didn't do in the original video. Create another adjustment layer, Ctrl-Alt-Y, and search for Optics Compensation. Make sure you check the reverse lens box once you add it. Now, in the Field of View tab, click the stopwatch to set a keyframe. Go a little further down your timeline, and then change the number to something higher, around 75 in this case. Move forward in the timeline again, and change the value so it's the same as the first keyframe. Open the Adjustment Layer tab, highlight all the keyframes, and then press F9 on your keyboard to make them ease into each other. This makes your spiral look like it's pulsing. If you want this pulse to loop, hold Alt and click on the stopwatch to make this text box appear. From there, type in loop out, open parentheses, close parentheses. And there you have it, folks. Thank you for watching CLUFest. Let's get back to the show. Uh-oh, where'd our hosts go? Hold on a second. There they are.
I'm here.
Hello.
Well, folks, it
Hello.
is 8:02 p.m. We are already going overtime, but that's okay because we are just about to wrap up anyway. So, thank you all for coming. Allie and Shaggy, do you want to say anything? We've all been at CLU for a long time.
Not really. It was a really cool CLUFest. I'm excited that so many people just, sent in submissions. It's just so awesome to see the community come together.
Thank you for the submissions. Thank you for all of you watching right now. Currently, we got 49 viewers. Thank you so much. This means a lot that all these people are coming to watch us right now. This is the first time we're doing some sort of live stream like this for CLU, let alone the multimedia department. Allie, do you have anything to say?
Yeah. Thank you again to everyone who's tuning in. And this has been so much fun. One of the highlights for me was definitely the Mentimeter and the sandwiches.
I gotta find out who did those sandwiches.
Sandwich sounds good, dude.
It's been a great run. All three of us here have been at CLU for at least 4 years. I'm saying at least because of Shaggy over here.
I've been here too long, man.
It's been quite a time, and this is it. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to be rolling the credits for everyone who helped make this happen. Hope you all enjoyed CLUFest 2021, Dreamland. Have a good night, folks.
Have a good one, guys.
Thank you.